I saw a comment on the short, and I appreciate them. Matter of fact, let me actually give proper credit. Hold on. I don't know why the video looked so caca, but we're not gonna talk about it. Also, this comment. There you go. Shil P. Kumari. The idea is worth sharing to help me understand better. That's beautiful, bro. You know what I mean? Also, you might not be able to see that. Let me go ahead and bam! Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Enjoy. Everybody else has been enjoying this as well. Thank you for the vibe. We're here for a good time and here to enjoy ourselves, you know? We're here to read, have a good time. If you're wondering the music, look up ROTI, Roddy Dot. When they call it Do Something Today for your future self, well, thank you. That's so fucking beautiful. I didn't even realize that's the title of the video. Chapter 6. By the way, I will be doing a live read through 1984. Seems like the perfect time to do it. Ignore all the dust. Seems like a perfect time to do it, considering people don't fucking actually read this book and quote it for their justification for no COVID. But actually, you should be quoting it for right now because of everything that's happening with this fucking administration. Anyway, chapter 6. Get into it. Deception. Doing racist things and lying about it. In an experiment published in 2009, Prager, Western, and Bonokowski, hired testers, black, white, and Latino, to apply for 340 real entry-level jobs. 340 real entry-level jobs over the course of 9 months in New York City. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, haven't we already done this one in chapter 2? You don't know about that, but you should. You should get the book. Isn't this the one where the applicants were matched on qualifications, neighborhood, of residents, verbal skills, interaction style, and physical attractiveness? Isn't this the one where, despite being matched in every conceivable way, the white applicant had a callback rate that was over twice the size of the black applicant? You were correct, of course. I did tell you about the study in chapter 2. However, there are some very important things that I left out. You see, when Pager, excuse me, I'm saying Prager because of that one company, right? When Pager and colleagues conducted this study, it was already scientific knowledge that white candidates were treated significantly better than other identical ethnic minority candidates, particularly black candidates, when they applied for the same jobs. But even when we know that an effect happens, it doesn't mean that we should stop replicating the research. We need to keep conducting experiments to see how this effect varies by location, by types of job, by levels of seniority, across time, and in many other ways. Furthermore, Pager and colleagues wanted to go beyond showing that white people are treated better than otherwise identical ethnic minorities. The team, if you saw me smile, it's because my lady texted me. The team of scientists wanted to take a look under the proverbial hood to open the proverbial black box and see how this discrimination occurred. Wait, I'm curious, how many pages we got? Not that much. All right, we can do this on one video. It's 6 pages, easy. 6 pages for chapter 6. I'll take it. Wait, 92, right? 84. I apologize. Not 8 pages. So far, a lot of experiments had sent identical or equivalent CVs, or actual people, to apply for the same jobs and observed that the white applicants received better treatment than the ethnic minorities. But what exactly happened between the applications and the callback? That part of things was a bit of a mystery. What were the employees actually doing with these applications? Were they reading them all carefully and then coming to the conclusion that the white people were, for some reason, better suited and qualified than their otherwise identical ethnic minority counterparts? Were the employers misreading or misremembering aspects of the CVs in ways that made the white applicants look more hireable? Were some of them just tossing the ethnic minority CV straight into the bin without even looking beyond the name? Most fundamentally, Pager and colleagues wanted to know the answer to one very important question. Were the employers aware of what they were doing? This is where Pager's 2009 study really shines, and even in the context of other excellent scientific research, in the author's own words, by observing the interactions that characterize each of these behavior types, we gain a rare glimpse into the process by which discrimination takes place. As Pager and colleagues had sent real people, not just CVs, to apply for the same job at or very near to the same time. The applicants themselves could observe these potential employers and see the mechanisms that led to the racially biased behaviors. The result were most revealing. Pager and colleagues noted that very few employers revealed any overt hostility toward racial minority applicants. At this point, you might be tempted to believe that the employer's biases were thus unconscious, that they were not aware of their discriminatory decisions. However, this was not the case. As discussed in Chapter 4, it is hopelessly naive to split all bias into the cartoonishly overt or the entirely unconscious. It omits the possibility of deception. And deception is what Pager found. In one example, all three applicants, white, black, and Latino, showed up at the same time to apply for a job. A woman herded them in and had them fill out an application on the spot. However, when they had finished filling out the paperwork, she told them they could all leave because there's no interview today, guys. Since there was apparently no interviews, all three applicants left to catch the bus. However, when they made it across the street to the bus stop, the woman came out and motioned for them to all return. She said that she needed to speak to the white and Latino applicant. Ah, gracias. No, that's fucking. Somebody's like, what the fuck, CP? It's look, bro, it's a crazy thing. We gotta make a joke out of it to make light of the situation. You know, that's fucking crazy though. Genuinely, that's fucking wild, bro. Apparently the white and Latino applicant had forgotten to sign something the black applicant could go. But of course, this was a lie. Once they were back at the office, the woman asked the white and Latino applicant if they could come back at 5 p.m. today to start the day work. She hired them on the spot. At this point, the equally qualified black candidate was already catching a bus back home unemployed. You laughed at my joke. You a racist. It's crazy, bro. That's fucking wild. Jesus. Yeah, that's wild. Wow. The overt racism. You know what's curious? I bet you she was like a Latina, or she was a white lady and thought, oh well, the Latino I can have in here and I can work them hard to the bone and shit. I've heard these types of things from working in retail and other stuff, so it's like, oh, okay. I'm honestly, if we actually talk serious, right? I'm actually not surprised that this is happening. That's fucked up. A young man or woman. Well, actually, we don't even know, right? The black applicant. Any of them, actually. Like, I want to say I'm disappointed, but like, are y'all surprised? No, of course I'm not surprised. Racism is innately bred. I'm gonna assume this is America. What's Pager? Hold on. Virtual. It's a healthcare company industry. No, it's in the healthcare industry, and the headquarters are in New York. They're funded by entrepreneurs who have previously worked on technology startups. Why are you in healthcare, my guy? Ew. I don't like that. Ew, dude. The paper's clear about what happened. The woman didn't suddenly have a sequence of implausible memory lapses or misconceptions that resulted in her accidentally or unconsciously hiring the white and Latino applicants, but not the black one. In fact, she was very open with the white Latino candidates about what she was doing, explaining that the lie to them in very straightforward terms. He even expected them to be conspirators to her racial discrimination. As the white candidate reported to the paper, she seemed pretty concerned with not letting anyone else know. Let's be absolutely explicit here. There was nothing unconscious about this woman's racism. It was pure deception. Alright. In another example, one of the black applicants tried to apply for a position at a retail clothing store, only to be told the position for that had already been filled. The Latino applicant tried for the same job shortly after and got a very similar response. The position had already been filled, but then a white applicant who had applied last had a very different experience. Ah, how curious. When he asked if they were taking applications for the position, the person in charge took his application as you can start immediately. Can you start tomorrow? That's fucking crazy. That's crazy, bro. All you can really do is laugh off this kind of shit, man. In another incident, all three applied for a job at an electronics store. The black advocate was allowed to complete an application, but was told that the store would have to check his references, so it would be a while before he could be called in for an interview. The white and Latino applicants and contracts were interviewed on the spot. Wow. Furthermore, the store manager never called to check the black applicant's references. 2 days later, the white applicant received a call offering him the job. Now look, I'm not going to say that the Latino applicant, like, for whatever reason was better, because remember, these were all similar experience, right? So there is no, oh, well, maybe this applicant, like, I had the idea, well, maybe the Latino candidate just wasn't as good, right? First of all, bro, why am I trying to defend the fucking racist fucking, right? Crazy. But, like, again, remember, no, bro, they are all either the exact or very similar experience and CVs, right? Ain't shit else you can really say to that, man. Any, like, well, what if-isms, right? Huh? Oh, sure. Racism, that's it. Hey, it's important to note that if the applicants had not all had access to each other's experiences, it would have been very difficult, if not possible, to know that racial discrimination had occurred, or that his deception had been a key element of that racial discrimination. Had this been a real application, the black candidate would have had no way of knowing that he was exactly as qualified as the white or Latino candidacy. He would have had no way of knowing that the managers lied when they said that the other applicants forgot to sign something, or that the positions had already been filled, or that the store needed to check his references. He would have simply returned home and continued looking for employment. And with no way of knowing that, no way of knowing that the racism had cost him the job, or two. Or three. The only people who would have, by the way, if my audio sounds different, it's because I've undid a bunch of audio things, so now you're gonna hear a lot of me instead of like just closing out. Anyway, I heard it from a streamer named Saving the Bees, and I thought it was good, and it was kind of, but I'm like, I don't like the quality there. It doesn't get everything. Like, you probably just heard me drink water, and you're like, yeah, Caesar, you a big gulper. Pause. But anyway, instead of like getting muted or what have you. It's so funny. I have, well, never mind. No, I can't say. Anyway, I got a new job. That's what I will say about that. But yeah. Yeah, boy. So when these come out, they're not going to be like, well, depending, I'll be able to. We'll see. You know, gotta prioritize wifey, gotta prioritize that I'm also taking care of, you know what I mean? And I'm able to do the other things I want to do. It's a part-time job, so I'm gonna have time. It's just the fine balance of making time for this stuff, right? Because I do also want to stream, but I also really enjoy doing this, you know what I mean? So yeah, and then soonish, maybe in February, March, we'll see. I'll be ordering myself a better glasses, and I'm gonna actually go biking to a town that I've heard I've been to before that's like really nice. So it'd be nice to go and then bike on through, and then you guys get to see like, man, shit, dude. Continue. I'm working on something else in the background. The other people who would have known what the racism was a factor in these hiring decisions were the managers themselves and the few others they drew in as co-conspirators to their racism. And as you can see from the effort the managers put into disguising their true behavior, the black advocate would never find anything out from them. Sometimes the reason that someone is unwilling or unable to accurately communicate their racism has nothing to do with the unconscious bias. Sometimes it's just deception. Sometimes I can catch myself thinking about this 2009 study, 5-pager, about the kind of racism revealed by those black, white, and Latino job applicants. I thought about it when I was in the holiday for Greece a few years ago. I was looking for a place to stay and was told that several hotels were full, sometimes by hostile, rude people, sometimes by apologetic, smiley people. Later, sometimes I catch myself thinking about this 2009 study, 5-pager, about the kind of racism revealed by those black, white, and Latino job applicants. I thought about it when I was on holiday in Greece a few years ago. was looking for a place to stay at. So was Pager a different company, right? I assume the company I saw was this healthcare one, but this one was something else. I don't know. Um, I thought about it when I was on holiday in Greece a few years ago, dude. One day, I was looking for a place to stay, and I was told that several hotels were full, sometimes by hostile, rude people, and sometimes by apologetic, smiling people. Later, some white people I was traveling with who knew that I was looking for a place to stay would direct me to those very same hotels. Just ask, and they would say, and they would say that they had. That's a wow. We just asked, they would say, and they just that they had loads of room available. I thought about this study when I was invited to be a keynote speaker or a counseling psychotherapy conference in Stratford upon Avon. I don't know what that means. In the UK, a keynote is an address of some prestige and importance at a conference. You can reasonably be expected to be treated with respect, if not deference. Not so apparently in Stratford upon Avon. I assume like another place or hotel. At the conference hotel, I watched as all the white conference attendees strolled in unchallenged. I was asked to show proof that I was staying at the hotel. I think about this city while I remember that many, many times I've been followed around a store for the simple time of earning money and trying to spend it. I think about it when I go to a restaurant or a store with a white person and the servers ignore me entirely. I think about it whether people argue that I can't possibly know that there are examples of racism, as if that wasn't the whole fucking point. I added the fucking part. As Page's 2009 study revealed, people go to incredible lengths to do racist things, but to do them in such a way that proving the racism is next to impossible. In real life, we don't have access to a set of white and Latino doppelgangers who can try to stay at home or to try to stay at the same hotels, or give the same keynote speeches, or shop at the same stores or eat at the same restaurants. If the people in all those places want to be racist about the racism, have many available strategies for accomplishing just that. I also think about Page's experiment when I read yet another newspaper article or blog post calling evidence for discrimination a sign of unconscious bias. Think about it when even people I like and respect attribute their past behavior or someone else's current behavior to unconscious bias alone. This is, as the young people would say, is gaslighting in the extreme. Yes, unconscious bias does this. Yes, some behaviors are unconscious, but many behaviors, lying about people having to sign imaginary forgotten forms, lying about positions being filled, lying about having to check references, lying about hotel rooms being unavailable, randomly checking the status of a black person only the black person at a conference are not. Those behaviors are very conscious indeed. The aggressive dominance of the unconscious bias narrative obscures the fact that some people are very much aware of the racism and not even trying to be less racist. Matt Rowan, a former youth pastor and in Oklahoma, wasn't trying to not be racist in 2021 when he called a group of high school girls fucking what if I say Nardwar? Nope, that sounds also crazy, huh? Let's just say the hard N. I can't say that because we're, you know what I mean? I'm reading it. I see the word. I can clearly read it. I'm not gonna say it because I'm not a fucking idiot, but it's there. And if you know what, how about you go ahead? If you don't believe me, go ahead and fact check that. Go ahead and look up Matt Rowan, Oklahoma announcer 2021, and you'll probably find it. He just thought that, as a matter of fact, I should be the one to do that, huh? That might have make y'all look. Let me go ahead and pull that up. That way, motherfucker can't be like, no, it's not you. That's just fucking lies, man. Why would you fucking say that? Oh, yeah? You sure about that? You sure about that, Sean? How confident are you, bro? How confident are you? Huh? No. Hold on. YouTube's trying to hide it. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Are they not gonna? Oh, they do have it. Oh shit. Yeah, if you look it up, it's under the channel Bill Smallwood. He played Blood Sugar? Hold on, y'all gotta see this. Hold on. That's crazy. Hold on. No. Oh, no. No, he fucking didn't. Hold on. That is some crazy shit. Y'all see that, right? You see that, right? Oh, yeah. It's fucking... Oh, dude. Fuck. That's crazy, bro. That is some shit. I can't believe. No, I guess I do believe it, but that's, you know. Anyway. Where were we? Yeah. He just thought that his microphone was off. When he later discovered his microphone had been on during the outburst, he blamed his diabetes. Like clockwork, bro. Like fucking clockwork. As we looked it up, Jabber, just shut the fuck up. Now, more and more, you know, in case you want to question it, bro. All this shit you could just look up yourself. But thankfully, it's all in this book, so you can read it yourself. Motherfucker's a professor, by the way. I was looking about it after the read. Yeah, man. Bro was a professor from fucking Oxford, bro. Goated. Hell yeah, man. That's fucking crazy. In 2018, Jo Marnie, the then girlfriend of the leader of the UK Independence Party, wasn't trying to not be racist when she texted a friend to say that she would never have sex with a Nardwar because they're ugly. That's fucking wild. What? She wasn't trying not to be racist when she said that Prince Harry's new fiance would take the royal family's blood? Yo, this bitch gotta go. What? Indeed, when her friend responded that she was racist, she replied, lol, so what? Yo, how come we don't get these people out? You know what I mean? Pedophiles, all that, bro. Why don't we? Marnie didn't mind being racist. She just didn't expect the text to be leaked or the reaction to be so negative. Oh my god, you guys are so dramatic. 2002 employees at Target. By the way, that's not from the book. I made that joke. Don't fucking sue me, motherfucker. You said it your own goddamn self. 2002 employees at Target weren't trying to not be racist when they admitted in the course of the lawsuit to routinely destroying the job applicants of black individuals who attended job fairs held at the several Milwaukee universities. In 2002, the then mayor of London and the eventual prime minister Boris Johnson wasn't trying not to be racist when he referred to the people of the Commonwealth as flag. Wait, I don't know if I can say pick-a-na. But yep, that's a term. With watermelon smiles? I voted for him to be prime minister with all that? I can't talk. Look who's in the administration right now in America. You know what I mean? A bunch of fucking pedophiles. What am I talking about? But that's... fucking hell, man. 2017, conservative candidate Derek Bullock wasn't trying to not be racist when he commented, shoot the... I'm going to assume he meant Pakistanis on the spot. Under a post about the Manchester Arena bombing in 2018, Buford... I don't want to say the word because I don't know if that's like a derogatory term. In 2018, Buford, Georgia City Schools Superintendent Gay Hamby wasn't trying not to be racist when he said, fuck that Nardwar. I'll kill these goddamn... shoot that motherfucker if they let me. Don't send us a deadbeat Nardwar from a temp site. In 2022, Gregor de Fornas wasn't trying not to be racist when he shouted, go back to Africa at Carlos Martins Longo, a black French lawmaker. Dude, y'all help me take him to court. That's crazy. You a lawyer, bro. Get his ass. In 2023, conservative counselor Alex McOvey? Well, it doesn't matter. Fuck him. Wasn't trying to not be a racist when she called Ian Wright a typical black... Ian Wright's a legend. Well, fuck yourself. Ian Wright's a fucking legend. Class. World-class person. Fuck her. What? It is a mistake to look at the mountains of evidence for discrimination in employment, in healthcare, in policing, in the service industry, and in many other areas of the and attribute it entirely to unconscious bias. Indeed, scientific research has never even demonstrated that most contemporary bias is conscious, only that some of it is unconscious. In many instances, the people being racist are perfectly aware of what they're doing. They're just trying not to get caught, and very often they succeed. That is the end of chapter 6. Fascinating read. yet. Ultimately, it's kind of up to us to make sure that our kids and younger gens understand that no, that's not an okay way of thinking. I don't give a fuck if Boris Johnson and all these fucks are acting like that. It's not okay for you to do that. There's consequence. There should be consequence to that type of action. Yeah. Next chapter we're gonna look into is gonna be a bigger read. Is chapter 7, the games people play, how to be racist while believing you're not. It's gonna be on page 92. This motherfucker is going to part 3, and that'll get us to the sort of chapter 8 at 141. Like 50 pages we gotta read, bro. It'll be a long video. I'll see y'all there for more science of racism. You're at the Juicy House. See you next time. Social plug, is that gonna work? Oh, beautiful. That's the main channel right over there. Twitch, Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram. Of course, with Instagram, Threads is also, it's right there. Y'all got it. I'll see you soon. Take care. Don't be a fucking racist. What's wrong with you? Bye-bye.